Let's talk about, though, that second goal for Lyon. De Bruyne, of course, getting the equaliser for City. You thought they were then going to kick on. But then Lyon score. There was a question mark over an offside. It wasn't. However, was there a foul in the build-up to the goal, Stevie?
Was there a foul? I mean, seriously. There are some things that happen and you see that you think this is the only time I'll ever see it. But you know what? We're not dealing with officials. And we're certainly not dealing with VAR. Because, again, it is about as clear as the day is. You see Cancelo getting tripped up when he's trying to make his way back by Dembele, who actually scores. Now, I was the same as probably most people. I was looking at the offside. Was it offside? But then, when you have the opportunity to see it the second time and you can see the trip from Dembele, it's, oh, there's no way they're going to give this. Guess what? They gave it an absolute disgraceful decision. And it is just beyond me how that anybody connected with football who thinks they know anything about football, never mind a guy who's actually probably sat so many exams and refereed so many games, can sit down and look at this and say it's no foul, is an absolute disgrace.
Frank?
I totally agree. I mean, I'm very pleased that Lyon went through because they had the game, and I think they were the best team. They were the best team tonight. But we have two big details during the game where don't become details, but become big facts. Where, in fact, there is a foul. Definitely a foul, and the goal should have been disallowed. I think Dembele trips up the defender, and I want to thank Sterling. How can he miss that? So we try to analyze what Guardiola did wrong, but I think if the referees would have done their job, it would have been maybe a different story. Well, yes, Steve, I think the best team won tonight.
Come on. The third goal, the goalkeeper's in a shocker. The second goal should never have been allowed in a million years, and they took the one chance that they made with the run in behind. And then you've got City.
How many chances Manchester City had before De Bruyne scored?
But
before
no
De Bruyne scored, how many
Lyon
chances?
Had one chance. Lyon had one chance in the game. The first goal.
No,
the first goal.
They had a chance with Marcel when he shot. But Lyon didn't have Manchester United.
Come on,
City
Fry. The best team didn't win. Come on, the best team.
Yes, I think the best team. The team more concerned, the team who worked with his quality and accepted his weaknesses, did what they had to do. The other one was maybe 100 times better than Lyon. Didn't do the job.
I like that.
That's it.
I like that better. They did what they had to do. Didn't mean they were the better team. I like that better.
Of course.
Let me split you two. Okay. Let me split you two down the middle and just say the team that was super well drilled and knew their limitations won, and the super talented side that can't help shooting themselves in the foot lost. I mean, that's kind of the way I saw it. And you know, we're thinking about this before the tie started over the last 48 hours. Was what's going to be the big downfall for City? Are they going to make mistakes again? And the answer is a clear and abundant yes. And that's an issue. To go back to the social media and all the other stuff, these are just moronic idiots. You know, every manager, as Stevie said, and coach has a flaw at some point. And Guardiola's flaw, stepping out the Barcelona shoes, is he can't find the right balance in these European juggernaut knockout competitions to find the correct balance between super efficient, entertaining, you know, creating chances, forward play, and defending. And as I'll repeat myself, until he does that, he's unlikely to win this competition. He can go out and buy another 3 or 4 David Silvas and Sergio Aguero. It's not going to make a difference. They've got an abundance of them, Dan. He's got to fix the problems at the other end, Frank.
Craig, I have a question. We can analyze everything and criticize Guardiola about everything, but because the question of Dan was about the second goal, if the second goal is disallowed, do you really think that Man City will be out of the competition?
I'm not sure, because I still think that if you think back to before the second goal, Frank, or around that time, there was another 2 or 3 balls that Lyon tried to play in diagonally, and Kyle Walker almost got caught out a couple of times. only his pace got him back in. He was out of possession. So I do think that City would still have left themselves open, is the answer. Because they would have been gone for that winner had that goal been chopped off. And I think they would have left space in behind. So, it's hard to say how much a difference it made, because this is a City side that are open willy-nilly anyway, whether they're chasing the game or whether they're defending.
I imagine everyone who watched this game had the same reaction when Sterling went to put that ball in the back of the net and somehow it goes over, because you just thought it was in. It was an absolute given that City were going to make it 2-1. How does he miss that, Stevie?
I think it's pretty clear. It's a lack of concentration. He's already got the ball in the back of the net. That can be the only thing that happens. When you're concentrated and there's a ball coming to you and you're going to put it in another place, you're thinking about the height that it's going to bounce. Is it going to land on a soft piece of grass? Do you think it's going to jump up? Is it going to be firm? These are all the things that are going through your head when you're concentrating. Now, when you stop concentrating and you think the ball's already in the back of the net, then you take your eye off it. Maybe it doesn't bounce the way you actually thought it was going to be maybe 2 seconds previously, and you end up putting it over the crossbar. It's 100%. He already thinks it's in the back of the net. He takes his eye off the ball, loses concentration. No question.
We talk about the defensive frailties for Manchester City, but in attack as well, they were lacking that spark. De Bruyne didn't have the best game, obviously scored, Craig, but you want more, don't you, from your big players on these big occasions?
Yeah, you do, but in some sense, I felt that was partly down to Lyon. I thought and the left wing back's name escapes me every time. Help me out again,
Cornet?
Frank.
Cornet
was annoying the hell out of me. Not because he's not a good player, but because he was going to ground every 2 minutes. When there was ever a whiff of air went past him, he went down. But that being said, you had Martial and the other players in that back line, and the midfield guys as well. I thought they did for the most part. City did still create some chances, but for the most part, I thought they did a really good job in there. Yeah, the referee helped them out with a couple of iffy decisions, but they were aggressive. They got around the ball. They won some second balls, and I thought they actually did a very good job of limiting the space for some of these guys to operate, and it worked out perfectly for them.
Frank, we have to have a word on
Can
Lyon.
I add something, Dan?
Go on.
Sorry. Have you seen, guys, that in those 4 games, you have 3 games who has been won because of substitutes and good substitution. Adams for Leipzig, Choupo-Moting for Paris Saint-Germain, tonight Dembélé for Lyon. Well, we can add Coutinho for fun, but that's very important. And that's, in modern football, what you will have to think about, especially if you keep those 5 substitutions. That will be a clear difference if you know what to do in those kind of situations.
Oh, that's what I meant to ask as well. I forgot about... he only made 2 subs, didn't he, Craig? Pep?
Yeah, was it David Silva and Mahrez?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mahrez.
it's... and you looked at the others in the beginning. You saw Phil Foden, the job he did against Real Madrid for a youngster was amazing. So you had Phil Foden as well, and you had others on the bench that were game changers. He didn't utilise it, and I think he was a little just befuddled at the end. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. He knows his side make mistakes, but here we have Ederson, who generally has been one of the most steadfast goalkeepers in European football over the last couple of years, just brushing out an easy shot to save. And I don't know why he didn't. I haven't got the answers, Dan. I don't know why he didn't utilise the rest of his substitutes.
Frank, we've obviously talked a lot about Manchester City. We've got to give some time to Lyon. How big an achievement is this for them?
Well, it's huge. I can tell you. Well, yeah, they're going to face Bayern Munich. And if I gave 20% of chances yesterday on our show for Lyon before that game, I don't know if I can give even a percentage to Lyon to beat Bayern Munich. who is clearly the favorite. But it's huge. It's a huge step. I mean, it's maybe the second time they reach the semi-final, and they do well. They work with their beliefs, as I said, and all the fans must be delighted. I mean, Garcia was named after leaving Lyon, Marseille, sorry, and was booed by the fans, and nothing worked. We said that they're not very much a squad or team. They don't work together. Well, against Juventus for the 2 legs and tonight against one of the biggest teams in Europe, they showed that they are at the level. Not at the same level, but they can be for one game at the level of the biggest teams, and they should be very much proud of that. And now recover and be ready for a big games for the semi-final.
Yeah, that big game is on Wednesday against Bayern Munich as the semi-finals now set. 24 hours before that, of course, it's Leipzig against PSG.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.